not almost 1 million jobs. But now they've just revised the past jobs number, right? Last month, and they revised it downward by 112,000 fake jobs. The numbers downward, 1 million jobs.
Was I on a different thing last time, a different stream?
Thank you, Mr. Whistleblower. You know, some whistleblowers are very.
Can you hear now?
Kamala's failed economic agenda wiped out nearly 30,000 private sector jobs and nearly 50,000 manufacturing jobs in just the last month. Do you believe this? Nobody's ever heard of these numbers. Even I mean, I know they're incompetent, but I thought they were sort of riding along a little bit on what we built. With almost 100,000 manufacturing jobs killed since the beginning of the year. 100, that's a lot. 150,000, these are all the numbers coming out of the so-called government. Great government we have. 150,000 Americans joined the unemployment rolls last month. This is like a depression. And there's nothing, I mean, no event. I think they're trying to blame it on the hurricane. No, that was, you know, a relatively small area. No, not the hurricane, not the hurricane. They're the hurricane. And nearly 250,000 people dropped out of the labor force, which is almost unheard of. No, these are the worst numbers anybody's ever heard of. The data shows that 100%, listen to this part, of all new jobs, net job gains in the past year have gone to illegal migrants. And the jobs were taken from African Americans, Hispanic Americans, and union workers. I don't think the unions are too happy about this. But I told you this was going to happen. It was inevitable. They're letting millions and millions of people flood into the country. And the African American population, if you see these numbers now, they're going to release them, but I think maybe, Ron, you should try and get them early because they're really bad. They have taken so many jobs away from African Americans, less from Hispanic, but that's going to catch up. But the African American job picture is unbelievable. And we had it going so good. But they've come in illegally and they've taken the jobs, and people that have had jobs for 20 years, good jobs, and raised a family, that had a little house and everything nice, and they've now lost their job to illegal migrants that have poured into the open border policy of that stupid person. Kamala's inflation nightmare, think of this, has cost the typical American family $30,000. Think of that one. Higher prices because the inflation's just raised. And you know, it started when they played around with my energy. I had no inflation. We had the greatest energy we've ever had. I was going to have it 4 times higher by now.
Love you! There you go, Funny Lyle. That was for you. Please subscribe.
And we were going to have it 4 times higher. We were going to take care of Asia. We were going to take care of Europe. We're going to make a fortune. Start paying down debt. We have 35 trillion in debt. We're going to lower your taxes. I gave you the largest tax cut in the history of our country and the largest regulation cuts.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kelly, well, I'm not going to get arrested. Thank you.
And now she wants to impose the largest tax hike in American history on top of everything else and raise your taxes by more than $3,000 a year.
Yeah, no,
Is everybody happy?
Don't worry.
But don't worry, we're going to make it good. We've got to suffer a little bit to get them out. Get those people out. They're grossly incompetent. I stand before you today as the only candidate who can rescue our economy from total obliteration and restore it to strength, prosperity, and actual greatness. As the press release numbers plainly indicate the economy is now a disaster. And are you listening to this press? They're the most dishonest human beings. Are you listening to this? These people, you know, whenever I look at them, they turn the cameras off. The red lights go off like, Mr. Wogo, they don't want any part of it. Now, that's a lot of press. That's a lot of cameras going so late at night. But no, we're gonna bring it back, and we're gonna bring it back fast. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna get the energy.
Trump is bulletproof. There you go. That was for you, Krista. Please subscribe.
But I don't know if you know it. Their economy is expected to get significantly worse. How does it get worse than that? It's really bad. Top Wall Street analysts, like Scott Bessent, who's one of the most brilliant guys on Wall Street, he said that the only reason the stock market is up is because everyone thinks Trump is going to win the presidency. Can you imagine if Kamala won? You would go down to a 1929 style depression. I believe that too. No, that'd crush your incomes and kill millions of jobs and wipe out your savings. We're not going to let that happen. You got to get out of the vote. Just got to get out. I don't like to say, you know, it's when I win. I sort of say, should I say when or if?
When?
Yes, vote for Chase Hall.
You know, I know, but it sounds a little braggadocio, right? When I win, with the best jobs, the biggest paycheck, and the finest economic future the world has ever seen. I will massively cut taxes for workers and small businesses, and we will have no tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And for our seniors, ready? No tax on Social Security benefits.
Okay.
By a great political reporter.
You have to sit in the seat or...
A she said, sir, why don't you support and give a tax credit for family caregivers who take care of a parent or an elderly? I said, that's a good idea. So we're going to do that. You know, if you didn't have those people, you would not have enough hospitals in this country to take care of anything. You'd need to double your hospitals, and you still. Those are the greatest people on earth, and they do it with love. And we're going to get them a tax credit. Is that okay? I will end Kamala's war on American energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to frack. Now she goes and she says, oh no, I've always wanted to frack. This woman is the worst lawyer. Look, I had to go and beat crooked Hillary Clinton. She's crooked as a $4 bill. I've never held a microphone up so long in my damn life. But she's crooked as hell, crooked Hillary, but she was less, like, she didn't lie this way. This woman, Trump, is going to do, he's going to terminate your Social Security in his first week in office. No. I'm going to keep it going, no increases in age. He's going to ruin Medicare, he's going to do that. I see her today, she's in the news conference. First of all, she's exhausted. She looks, no, she's exhausted, right? Man. And you know what? I've done 62 days, no days off. today is an example. Yesterday I started off in New Mexico. You know why? It's not really a swing state, but it's a state that likes me a lot. It's got a thing called the border, and it's an open civ. And people are pouring in by the thousands and thousands and doing a lot of destruction and doing a lot of crime. And I really had a massive crowd. You couldn't even see the end of it. It was like early.
You want to sit or?
And today I was in Michigan. We were all over the place. We were in Michigan, like I said. And Michigan's very important. You know, we're leading in Michigan. You know why? I'm going to bring back the car business or anything like that. We were a year ago, I heard through a friend of mine who builds plants. He's a great plant builder, the best and the biggest in the world. He's building this massive plant that I wanted to see. I said, I want to see the plant you're building. He goes, well, it's not in the U.S. I said, no, I don't want to see it. I'm not interested. Where is it? It's in Mexico. Who owns it? China. They're building this massive building starter. They're building this massive plant right on the border so they can make cars, sell them into the United States, and destroy the rest of Detroit. Take all the business away from Michigan and a little fairness, Tennessee and South Carolina and lots of other places. And you to a lesser extent, but you too. But they're going to build this big plant. And I didn't like it. I said, that's killer. You know, they're trying to solve the Detroit situation. And we want to bring back up. And we're going to bring it back. Because you know why? The most beautiful word in the entire dictionary, you know what it is? It's tariff. The tariff. You're going to become so rich with the word tariff. You're going to become rich as hell. They're not going to know what to do with the money. I'm telling you, you're going to become very rich with the word tariff. And so I told them, and I was at the Detroit Economic Club. It was beautiful, and I was giving a talk, and I saw the guy that told me that they're going to start building a big plant in Mexico right on the border. And he was in the audience. John, his name is. He's, I think, the biggest in the world with this. It's very good. And he told me if we asked me to build an apartment, I couldn't build it, or a road, they couldn't lay the asphalt. But the plant, he has no problem with computers all over the place and robots. Lots of robots, by the way. So I said, well, how's that going? I was making a speech, and I said, right about there with that very beautiful girl. I'm not going to say that. See the beautiful blonde girl right there? He said, now you know that's the end of your political career when you do. You're not allowed to call anybody beautiful anymore. If you do, it's the end of your political career. Ron Johnson was never do that. That's why he's a great politician. Right where that young lady is, John is sitting there. And I called him, I said, could you come back? And he comes backstage. Thank you very much. Fix the mic. Oh, you gotta be kidding. Do you want to see me knock the hell out of people backstage? I don't mind if they want to come up a little forward or something, but it's a pretty stupid situation, but that's okay. I guess I might be seething. I'm seething. I'm working my ass off with this stupid mic. I'm blowing out my left arm. Now I'm going to blow out my right arm, and I'm blowing out my damn throat, too, because of stupid people. I'll make you a deal. Pretend you're listening to it perfectly, and I'll come back and do another one, okay? So stupid. And you know, the only thing I ask for, I don't care about lighting, I don't care about teleprompters, because I never read the damn things anyway. By the way, isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a frickin' teleprompter? The only thing I ask for is a good mic. And this is the second time today that this happened. So now if I were the president, and you know, like a dopey guy like this Kelly, the guy's a total moron, and that happened, I'd fire him, and everybody would say, gee, I'm such a bad person. You're not bad, you fire people. For instance, the generals that destroyed us in Afghanistan. Every one of them should have been fired. Hello? Is that better? Is that better? That's terrible. Is that better back there? Is that yes or no? What crap. The only thing I asked for is a mic. You don't have to give, I don't even need a stage, I don't give a damn. Give me a good mic, and I went through 2 of these today. And it knocks the hell out of your throat. But so far I'm doing okay, right? And did you notice I came in today and I said, and you know, this is after 4 of these things I'm getting no friends. I mean, I'm a human being, right? I come in, and here's the problem.
Thanks, T. Thompson. Very nicely super chat.
Way too long. So I walk in, I said, there's nothing worse than I walk in like this, and I was bending over like this. And then everybody says, is there something wrong with his back? What the hell is that? They're saying, he's cognitively impaired and physically impaired and something the wall because I have guys that are stupid back there. All right, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, right? What a shame. But we're going to come back. I'm going to give you a free performance back in that corner. We got a bad area back there. I think this is but what we're doing is we're going to cut your price of energy in half in 12 months. Because we have more liquid gold under our feet than Russia, than Saudi Arabia, than anybody. Oh, that sounds much better.
No, Dog is in there. Pick him up after.
But we're going to cut it because we have all this beautiful liquid gold, and we're going to cut it, and it's going to drive everything down. It's going to be, you're going to get, okay, ready? January 20th. First of all, you're going to go November 5th. You're going on Tuesday. That's number 1. Because we got to get that. I don't like talking about, like people are coming up to me, my staff over here, who are great. Sir, I'd like to recommend some people. He says, I don't want to talk about any people. First, I want to win, right? We don't want to talk about people. Don't tell me about people. Everybody wants a job. Remember, there was a moment where they were saying, oh, nobody wants to work for Trump. He's too difficult. He said, let me tell you a little secret. They die to work for us. You know why? Because they all want to be this glamour deal. They want to be in this beautiful administration. They want to be secretaries. No, they say, sir, nobody wants to work for you. Nobody wants to be Secretary of State and be known famous for the rest of your life. Nobody wants to be Secretary of the Treasury. Nobody. These people are nuts. It's these people. They don't want to work for Trump. They don't want to because he's difficult. You know why I'm difficult? Because I want perfection for our country.
Frederick Douglass is going to be Attorney General. Thank you very much.
So I will terminate the Greenland scam, one of the great scams in history. Remember, our country was going to be dead in 12 years. Remember that? Well, we came up at the 12. What happened? Where are we? Let me tell you, they have global warming, right? They said global warming. They used to call it, but now they call it climate change. You know why? Because climate change is cold, and it's too cold, and it's too climate change. We're suffering climate change. If it's cold, that's good. If it's hot as hell, that's good. It used to be global warming, and that wasn't working because we're actually cold. So we have that, but you know the biggest warming problem we have is nuclear warming. So they talk all the time about the ocean will rise in 500 years, 1/8 who the hell cares?
Really? Water Street? All right.
But we have maniacs that have nuclear weapons, and we can't let that happen. And you need a smart president is an example. Russia would have never gone into Ukraine if I were president. Zero chance. And everything Biden said, I said he's saying the exact opposite of what he should be saying. Israel would have never happened. That attack, October 7th, would have never happened. What a shame, right? What a shame. You know what else wouldn't have happened? Afghanistan, the way, we would have left sooner, but we were going to leave with dignity and strength. Instead, we lost 13 great soldiers. I know their families. You know, Biden and Kamala would never call the families, not even one little phone call. I don't think they really wanted to hear from them. But they wouldn't go. 13 great people were lost. Many people lost the legs, the arms, the face was just horrifically injured, obliterated in some cases. Nobody ever talks about them. I talk about them all the time because those people, they're going to suffer for the rest of their lives. It's so sad. What happened at Afghanistan, and because of that, by the way, Putin looked, he said, oh, the U.S. is a paper tiger. I guess I can finally go into Ukraine because it's the apple of his eye. Always was. He told me. No, I love it. He loved it. He loved it. He wanted it, but he would have never done it with me. Zero chance. Zero chance. So sad. So sad. So many things have happened. You know what else wouldn't have happened to you? You would have had no inflation. I had no inflation. You wouldn't have had... Inflation was caused by the stupid energy policy. It drove the energy through the roof. That's how complicated. To bring back millions of jobs, we will give our companies the lowest taxes, the lowest energy costs, the lowest regulatory burdens, and free access to the best and biggest market on the planet. And this mic is much heavier than the other one. I can do exercise. I can build up my muscle. But only for those who make their product here in the USA and hire American workers for the job. Right? And if these companies don't make their product here in the USA, then they will be forced to pay a very stiff tariff. When they send their products into the United States for the privilege of competing with our workers and taking our workers' jobs, we will now have protected companies. These companies will not leave because they're going to be protected by tariffs, because they can't be undercut. You know, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Nobody talks about it. Those guys don't, they don't talk about anything. They only talk about bad. They only talk about fake news. But we took in hundreds of billions with a B, dollars from China. No other president took in 10 cents. Oh, you know, and I watched the other day, Mrs. Obama was nasty to me. What was that? What was that all about, Scott Walker? Nasty. Oh, look, it's Tommy Thompson. Holy mackerel. It's Tommy. Is that Tommy Thompson or am I up? Stand up, Tom. Stand up, Scott.
Tommy Thompson, he ran for president back in 2012, I believe.
Tommy, I got along with him, but you know, 2016, I wanted to win Wisconsin so bad. He said it's not doable. He said, "Great, you were a very difficult state, but I wanted you." I did win, despite the difficulty. I actually won it twice, but these are minor details. Which everyone knows. But Tommy Thompson, and he's a long-time governor, a long-time pro. I said, "What do you think, Tommy? I have a big meeting." And it's hard, you know, you have all these states, you want to go to the states. And he said, "Sir, you're wasting your time if you come to Wisconsin." He said, "I don't feel that way, Tommy. I had like one of these deals, except with fewer people, to be honest. You know, we've become more popular with time. But it was good. It was good." I said, "I don't think so." He said, "Sir, I'm telling you, you wasted your time. But here's what I'll do. I don't want you to go to Pennsylvania, go to Michigan, go to these places you have to win. Don't do it, sir. But here's what I'm going to do." I never forgot it. It was the weirdest thing. He said, "Sir, don't do it. But if I feel you can win it, or if I feel you're going to win it, or something happens over the next couple of months, I'll call you and you can do it then." I said, "Wow, that's a great idea." So 3 weeks go by and I get a phone call. They said, "Sir, there's a Governor Tommy Thompson on the phone." I said, "Who the hell is that?" You sort of forget, right? You know, it's like you're focused on the. I said, well, it's like Tommy. So I said, hi, Tommy, how you doing? What's up? Sir, it's time for you to get in that little chopper and come right up to Wisconsin. You're going to win this sucker. He said, he was right. I got in that chopper. I was up here so fast I couldn't believe it. They couldn't believe you could travel that fast. No, and we won. We had a great victory. And I will say this, we're much more popular. This is a much bigger movement. You know, Make America Great Again, MAGA. It's the greatest movement by far in the history of our country. And people don't even find it anymore, really. They don't win. But it's the greatest movement. And when Biden was doing that thing with the purple background, do you remember that? He looked like the devil, right? Remember that? Sebastian, have you gotten taller, Sebastian? What's going on? Sebastian, do you remember? Why are you standing? Do they not have a seat for you? He's giving me applause before we... He's a great guy. Does everybody listen to his show? He's been loyal, I'll tell you one thing. That guy was with me through thick and thin. Anything that came up, he said, the president is innocent. I said, oh, thank you, Sebastian. He would say, I don't know exactly what they're accusing him of, but he said, no, Sebastian's been great. He's been a very good, loyal friend, really good friend, and a really talented guy, smart. But we are now more popular. This is the weed, you know. You know, they used to say, these are stupid people, they used to say, he rambled. I don't ramble. I do a weave. You know what I mean? Yes, he does. It's a story. And as you're telling this story, you realize that there's a little offshoot, go up here, but the key is that you have to come back. And then you're doing the story, you're getting down to bottom line, and boom, you do another little weave. Then sometimes you do a weave off a weave, just here. And then it's more than a weave. And one guy got it right, they said, Trump is a totally brilliant guy. He said, I've never said that, because you always have to end up in the right place, or then you're rambling, you know, then you're rambling. But no, I have a very fertile brain, but it's the weave, and we do it, and it covers a lot of territory. This way you tell one story and you cover it. Really, it's like 15 subplots, but you get down to the final answer. And they're starting to say it. You know who said it? You know who said it? Rogan. Did anyone say it? One of us. Because that's called long form. Joe Rogan, that's called long form. So you're with him and you're talking, and you don't have to rush your answers, cram it in, right? I like the way, by the way, 60 minutes, see this part of the weave too, I like the way 60 minutes, in order, because she doesn't do a weave, she doesn't know where the hell she is. She gave the worst answer I've ever heard to a question. One of the main questions, she was on 60 Minutes, Kamala was, you can't call her Harris, because nobody knows who Harris is, right? Have you seen Harris lately? Who the hell is Harris? So you call her Kamala. But on 60 Minutes, they did something that was amazing. I never thought, I think it's the worst scandal in the history of broadcast. I think it's the she was grossly incompetent. It was crazy. It was just like all words. They had no meaning, no effect. They took the entire answer. They said, yes, we adjusted it slightly, yeah. They took the entire answer out, threw it away, and they took an answer down here that had nothing to do with it and put it, which was still crappy, but at least you could make a case. So they took the answer out and they put in a new answer. And I said, that's terrible. This is it's part of the news division. They get free licensing. They're worth billions, by the way, but the government brilliantly gives it to them for nothing, and they're all crooked. ABC's crooked as hell. Look at this David Muir, the way he was asking stuff. This guy, pretty boy. And his hair's not as good as it used to be. used to be much better. But you know what? He was asking stuff. I said, what the hell is he asking? He said, crime went down. I said, only a fool would say crime went down. Crime didn't go down. And then the following day, right, they came out, crime was up 49%. It's terrible, but what 60 Minutes did is unbelievable. They took the answer out, they replaced it with another answer. You got to see them trying to explain, Sebastian. They're trying to explain why they did that one. Did you ever do that? Would you ever do that? See, he may do that for me, but I don't think so, right? And if he did, he wouldn't be talking about it, that I can tell you. But he may. I don't want people to do that. You know what they do? They take mine. Mine is a beautiful, beautiful answer. But here's what they do. They cut out part of the weave, and then it doesn't sound so good anymore. But what 60 Minutes did at CBS, I think the license should be taken away from CBS. And I think that 60 Minutes should be forced to either close or take a very extended stay. And I'll tell you what, if a conservative broadcaster ever did what they did, it would be the end of their lives. Everybody would be in jail. Everybody would be in jail. What they did. And so in honor of you, we sued them yesterday for a lot of money.
Amen.
And I sued them, and we call it election interference fraud. It's election interference fraud. And I don't think there's any real way, I don't believe there's any way they can even answer if you want to know the truth. But as we rescue our economy, I will restore our borders, because I think that's your biggest problem. They're destroying our country. They're putting dangerous people. Look at these beautiful people, and you'll be interspersed with.
I was at Harris's rally earlier. A lot more people watching that video than watching this. Make of that what you will. I have 100 people watching now. I have an average of 400 to 500 watching coverage of the Harris rally that I just went to. I've gone to 2 rallies today. I'm the only one on YouTube that's gone to both rallies. I'm voting Libertarian. I'm not voting for either one of them. Voting for Chase all over. God damn it.
You know, Venezuelan crime is down like 72%. Because they put their criminals into the United States of America. Thank you. Thank you. Our stupid leaders. And they're stealing countless American lives. You'll see that in a couple of minutes. It's horrible what's going on. It's a terrible situation. Today I want to hear directly from a mother whose world has been absolutely shattered. This is a young, beautiful mother who I met at one of the rallies, and we said, do you mind if we do this? She was so good. It's so, I had some of the toughest people I've ever seen with me. They were all crying when they saw this. When you see this, please.
Sunday night, I asked her to not stay up super late because of her coming to work with me in the morning first to do her summer school. She said, okay. I told her good night and I love you. I went to bed, not realizing that that was going to be the last time I saw her.
We're best friends.
I woke up to notice she wasn't in the bed. I'm in my heart trying not to lose my mind because I don't know where she is. I finally remembered her phone had a location on, and her phone was pinging just 2 minutes down the road, right behind the skate park. I start driving to the direction the phone was being pinged at, and I see a couple cop cars with lights on. I see yellow tape, and immediately my heart drops and sinks to the bottom of my stomach. My daughter's hands and ankles are both bound. She was strangled to death, left with no pants. And I know in my heart, she fought incredibly hard. She was not going down without a fight.
We begin with 2 men. We're learning are charged with capital murder tonight, accused of killing a 12-year-old girl girl.
Police say these men strangled her before dumping her into that creek. Both men were in the country illegally.
Apprehended and released by Border Patrol less than 3 weeks before Jocelyn's death. Men accused of killing Jocelyn Nungare are affiliated with the gang known for brutal violence.
Kamala Harris was in charge of immigration and our borders. If we had better border policies and not open borders and not these catch-and-release policies, I truly believe this all could have been prevented. Under her being vice president of this country, my daughter's life was ripped away from her. She had her entire life ahead of her. Happy birthday, dear Jocelyn. My daughter is 6 feet in the ground based off of policies that she allowed to keep. Kamala Harris did have one job, and she not only failed, not me, she failed my daughter, she failed Jocelyn. She was on 12. President Trump reached out, gave me his sincerest condolences as not a former president, but just as a father, someone who cares. I believe Donald Trump needs to be back in office. I can at least know that my next child will be safe in this country.
This is what we're letting into our country. This is what we're letting in. And you can take that scene and multiply it times thousands, whether it's on highways, whether it's just shootings, plane shootings. These are rough people, rough people. And we can't take it. And it's the worst thing that's happening to our country. I think it's the worst thing that's happened to our country in decades. Nobody's ever even imagined a thing where other countries will take their prisons and open them and drop everybody, thousands of their prisoners. You know what they say by doing that? And I know most of the heads of these countries. It's like they can't believe they got away with it. And as soon as I heard we were going to have open borders, I said, I know immediately that that's what's going to be done. They're opening their jails and their prisons and their mental institutions, and they're becoming empty. Some are already empty, but all over the world, this isn't just in South America, it's not just Guatemala, Mexico, Honduras, you think in terms of a little, so these are all over the world. Big in the Congo, big, they're sending them over, big, they're tough, and they're mean. The day I take the oath of office, the migrant invasion ends and the restoration of our country begins. Brutalizing murder, Precious, Jocelyn are members of the same vicious Venezuelan prison gang, Tren de Aragua, that's taken over apartment complexes and unleashing violent killing sprees all over America. All over America, think of it. They're in Colorado. I think Colorado's going to vote for Trump. You know what they did? They were the ones that led the thing to get me up. I was the leading candidate of both parties, leading the Republicans and leading the Democrats, 1-to-1. I was the leading candidate. And then they talk about a threat to democracy. And that governor, a radical left lunatic who's petrified of the gangs that have taken over his state, this guy went and told his people to try and get me off the ballot. Can you imagine that? That would have been a fine mess. That would have been a fine mess if the country would have been at it. We went to the Supreme Court of the United States 1-9-0, because even the justice that were liberated in Canada, the justices that were liberated in Canada, they said, we can't do that, we can't be able to beat them in the ballot box. It was very heartwarming to see it as a 9-0. But this governor in Colorado did it, and you know who hated him the most? Are the Democrats in Colorado. They thought it was terrible. The United States is now an occupied country, but it will soon be an occupied country no longer. November 5th, 2024 will be Liberation Day. And they will now launch the largest deportation program in American history. I will rescue every city and town that has been invaded and conquered. These towns have been conquered. Think of what that means. Conquered. And we will put these vicious and bloodthirsty criminals in jail or kick them the hell out of our country. And to expedite the rules that send the Iraqi criminals and MS-13 criminals, which are just about as bad. We took out thousands of MS-13s. You know, they love them around. Isn't that nice? You know, two beautiful girls, 16 years old, were walking to school one day, and MS-13 attacked the two girls, and they sliced them up with knives. They didn't want to shoot them because that's too quick and not painful enough. They took and they killed both girls. And it's lucky that we have ICE around because ICE was extremely good. And the school that we have running for president without having gotten one single vote to his 14 million votes, this fool wanted to defund ICE. We want to defund ICE. If you defunded ICE, you have nobody that's tough enough to go in there and get these animals out of our country. She wanted to defund ICE. I will invoke the, and this is incredible because we had to go back so far. I will invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. That's when they made a tough country. To target and dismantle every migrant criminal network operating on American soil. And if they come back into our country, it's an automatic 10 years in jail with no possibility of parole. For the death penalty for any migrant that kills an American citizen or a law and I will immediately ban all sanctuary cities in the United States of America. Despite all the damage she has caused, Kamala has spent the final week of her campaign comparing her political opponents to the most evil mass murderers in history. You know that, right? All of us. You, me. 2 days ago, Joe Biden called our supporters garbage. He called them garbage. That's worse than deplorables, isn't it? Remember Hillary? How did that work out with deplorables? Well, garbage is working out even worse, man. They called you, all of us, garbage with garbage. And I believe we have 250 million people. I believe we have most of the country is about making America great again. My response to Joe and Kamala is very simple.
Yes,
You
I got church
can't
my
lead
phone.
America if you don't love Americans. You just can't do it.
Sorry guys, I gotta go and charge my phone. It's almost dead.
And you can't be president if you hate the American people. I actually think they hate the American people. She's not a good person. You know, her health, 95% of her health left. You know, when she was in the DA's attention when she was. Good morning, they were told to say. Good morning, stand up at attention. She's not a good person. Kamala's closing message to Americans is that I believe she hates you. I do believe that. I do believe that. My closing message is that I love America and I'm inviting you to join us in building an extraordinary future for our nation.
Sorry guys, I gotta charge my phone real soon.
Allegiance to you, the American people. We're going to strip this mess out. We're going to switch out the mess. It's an incompetent mess. She can't answer a question. She goes all over the place. She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. She's crazy. It's crazy. I'm asking for your award to number one. We're number one. We're energy independent. Can you imagine, Mr. Wall? Please stand up, Mr. Wall. I'm going to buy that suit. I'm going to buy that suit. Susie, please buy that suit for me. We also have the head of our campaign on today. And other than this microphone, she's done an unbelievable job. Unbelievable. It's the best run campaign. People say, well, actually, to say it's the best run campaign, you gotta win. So let's say, do you mind if I wait about 4 days? But Susie, wow, she's incredible. You know who's incredible? You know, I believe in this stuff so much. Pat Summerall, huh? Great announcer, great football player, great announcer. Look, he's going, wow, that's very impressive. But no, we believe in genetics a little bit, right? But Susie's done an incredible job, and thank you, Susie. You really helped me. Chris and everybody else, right? Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. Former small business administrator, Jovita Carranza. Thank you, Jovita. Jovita. Thank you, Jovita. Good job. And Sebastian, we want to thank you very much. You are really Sebastian Walker. The man who I think is going to bring us home, GOP Chairman Brian Schilling. Thank you, Brian. What a good job you're doing. I heard him speak the other day. I was in the plane flying in, and he was up saying, "You are good. You are psyched, right? Like we all are. We want to win. This is the biggest win. This will be the biggest win. Think of it. And if we win the whole thing, it will be the greatest event in political history in this country."
Yeah, picture's better.
And not only great because it's going to be great because of what we're going to be able to do. We're going to be able to fix our country. That's why it's really going to be great. It's going to be very important. And a friend of mine, one of the greatest developers, a great guy, a very generous person. He's always giving money to charity. When there's a problem like in North Carolina, he wanted to go with me and wrote out a big check all the time. He's a fantastic man, Steve Witkoff. Thank you, Steve. Thank you. Great guy. In conclusion, here are the facts. Kamala is a radical left Marxist, rated even worse than crazy Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas herself.
Send me a super chat. I can't afford it now. I'm broke. I'm a migrant. I'm moving to Springfield. I had a dog last night for dinner. Send me a super chat. Or else I have to use somebody else's dog again. You don't want that.
Anybody who wants to defund the police for even 1 week or 1 day is not worthy of being president of the United States. Kamala vowed to abolish ICE. She pledged to confiscate your guns and endorsed a total ban on handgun ownership. Who in this room is willing to give up their gun, please, to Kamala? Who refuses to give up their gun? I think she has a great question. But she even called for free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. And perhaps worst of all, she lied about working at McDonald's. She lied. She never worked there. She's a liar. It was always all I saw. I went and checked it out. Actually, they were the best french fries I ever had. 9 seconds after taking them out of that fat, whatever that happened. But they were the best, you know, when they sit around for about 2 hours. Not so good. With your vote this November, we're going to fire Kamala and we're going to save America. We will cut your taxes, end inflation, slash your prices, raise your wages, and bring thousands of factories back to America and back to a place called Wisconsin. We will build America, we will buy America, and we will hire America. That's what we want. And I will end the war in Ukraine when it never happened if I was president. And I will stop the chaos in the Middle East. 7 has never happened now. And I will prevent World War III. We're not going to have World War III. We just people. And it would be a war like no other. It would be a war like because of the power of the weaponry. We will crush violent crime and give our police the support, protection, resources, and respect that they so dearly deserve. We will strengthen and modernize our military. We will build a missile defense shield over our country, all made in the USA. And we will rebuild our cities, including our capital, Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. We will teach our children to love our country, to honor our history, and to always respect our great American flag. And we will put in a bill into Congress. They say it's unconstitutional. I don't know why.
I was just going to give it up to her.
We're going to protect
Is that your best
our great American flag. Anybody burning the American flag or destroying our American flag gets 1 year in jail. Thank you very much. We will get critical race theory and transgender insanity the hell out of our schools. And we will keep men out of women's sports.
So important. I mean, if I'm worried about the economy, this is the issue I worry about. That's going to affect my
I will
life.
defend the right to keep and bear arms, our Second Amendment right.
Fuck them kids, shoot them up.
Foreign nations, defending foreign borders and protecting foreign lands. We are finally going to build up our country and defend our borders and protect our citizens and our land, right?
And then nobody confines labor. Whoops.
Once and for all, it will be stopped, and we want people to come into our country. We do.
And you'll
We
miss
want
them.
people, but they have to come in legally to a system. They have to love us. They have to love our country. We will not be invaded. We are not going to be invaded. We are. It's like an invasion. It's like a military invasion. You know the guns and weapons they have. Some of these guys have. They're military grade. They're at least military grade. Some are better than military grade. We will not be invaded. We will not be occupied. We will not be overrun. We will not be conquered. We will be a free and proud nation once again. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. And it will be, more than anything else, it will be filled with a thing called the American dream. We're going to have the American dream back. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris and stop her radical left agenda with a landslide that is just too big to rig. So you need to get out and vote. For the past 9 years, we have been fighting against the most sinister and corrupt forces of it. They're corrupt, sinister, horrible people. Horrible people. With your vote in this election, you can show them once and for all that this nation
I was at Kamala's rally. I showed that to you, but let me pan out to the crowd. It's packed. It's a big stadium downtown.
It was hard-working patriots like you who built this country, and 4 days from now, it is hardworking patriots like you.
Trump
who are
wins in
going to
attendance
restore our country.
because I was at the Kamala rally, and the Kamala rally looked sad, and that's why I went to actually see who showed up. And it was at the state fairgrounds, and it was full, but it was a very small venue compared to this. Harris's rally that I went to in Madison had a lot more people, but this one in Milwaukee was pathetic.
And
to be frank,
we just had tremendous success here.
I'm the only objective person going to both.
People. And remember, when you're about to press that lever.
So if you want to look at Harris's rally, look at my last video. I was just at.
Everybody wanted that damn boat contract to build like
Say maybe 2,000,
type boats. And I'm a very visual person, so I took the thing that was designed, which wasn't that beautiful, and I took the bow of the boat and I reshaped it with.
There are a fair amount of empty seats that.
Right?
At least the very last row.
That's correct.
And there are a few empty. Like,
and I took it as
yeah, you're not wrong.
You gotta see this thing. Looks like a
So I
yacht with lots of
wouldn't
guns
say
on it.
it's over capacity either. You know, I would
And
say
everybody
out of
wanted,
three
every
rallies,
state
Harris's
wanted
and
it.
Madison was the most successful. Trump didn't have to turn anyone away in this rally. When I was in Madison, people had to get turned away, but in this rally, Harris's was paltry. So I know you all hate me because I'm objectively analyzing both candidates, but that's what I'm here for.
Remember that beautiful boat? Remember the yacht with guns all over it?
I think it is
After all we
close.
have been through a lot, but after all that we have been through together, we stand on the verge of the 4 greatest years in American history. We're going to make them great years.
Your mom sucks me off. How about that?
With your help from now until Election Day, 4 days, we will restore America's promise and we will take back the nation that we love. We love this nation. I mean, I wouldn't be doing this. I could have a hell of an easy life. I could have those waves just smacking me in the face. Beautiful saltwater waves all over the place. I got waves all over the place. Lots of places with lots of waves. Mr. Whitcoff can confirm that, right, Steve? Like probably more than anybody. I don't have to be here. But if I had my choice, I'd rather be right here with a broken down shit microphone in Wisconsin. I would rather be in Wisconsin at some beautiful beach. I would rather be right here. Because we are one people, one family, and one glorious nation under God.
All right. What's Chad? I'd love an interview.
We will never give up. We will never back down. We will never ever surrender.
If you start to fight me, that'll be great TV.
Fight and we will win, win, win. We're going to start winning. November 5th will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. Thank you, Lawrence K. Jr. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again.
I'm neither.
We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you.
And that's all she wrote. All right, guys. I gotta rescue my dog. There we have it. Time for the Asians. Oh, he's doing his dance. He's doing his shake weight dance. He's doing his jerk off. Of course, he ends with the gayest song in the world. Gay's in trouble. We have to have the jack-off dance. He finishes his masturbatory dance every rally. This is my 4th rally. And he needs to jerk off all over people before it officially ends. So, you know, it's good to get some of that stray semen on me. Why not? Good times. Thank you, too. Hey, may I ask you, I have a little YouTube anti-mainstream media, want to get the truth. Just curious, what do you think about the rally? Do you like his remarks?
You're gentler.
Yeah, it was smart. Yeah, more low-key. You know, not a ton for people to savage him with. I think he's getting very conscientious towards the end, and that's what you kind of need to do. Cross your T's, dot your I's. So you were pleasantly surprised.
New haircut too.
His hair looks better. I've noticed
better,
it.
But it looks different.
Yeah, it seems thicker or better combed or more or less of a
Plug smooth or something.
yeah, something. He did. He looks younger too. He doesn't look bad.
So yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Well, what a day, guys. I gotta go eat. I'm starving. I think we've been together since 3 p.m. Again, guys, please subscribe. I'm the only YouTuber who went to both the Harris and Trump rally to get an honest perspective. And again, as I get an honest perspective, Trump won the day today. I went to both rallies. I went to Harris. Her attendance, her venue was paltry compared to this. We are at the fairgrounds at Harris, and then we go to this big stadium downtown Milwaukee. You know, it's like Harris is performing the same place you'd see like the Bellamy brothers performing, or like if Pam Tillis had a show, it'd be the same amount of people, you know? Or like if Lisa Loeb was like doing a show, it would kind of, they'd perform at that fairground with the same amount of audience that Kamala Harris has. Let's just be a little honest. Or 2 Chainz, right? Whatever happened to him, rest in peace. You know, it's like, it wasn't good. It was, she had the audience of somebody who was washed up and had 3 hits in the 90s. And Trump's was mega. So I might change my opinion. I thought Harris was going to win and pull this off, but, you know, he has enthusiasm here, and this is in a deep blue neck of the woods. So I went to both rallies, and I saw, honestly, and Trump is more people. But I went for you. Yeah, nobody's tucked me off. I'm furious. Oh well. I was looking. I really came here for the easiest person. It doesn't cost anything. This guy got in for free. Yeah, it's free. Both are free. Harris is free. Trump is free. You know you lying. I'm telling the truth. So we have a wild election. Stay tuned tomorrow, and I'll do more of an objective analysis and kind of objectively analyze things as best as I can. And I hope you stay tuned for that. That'll be a nice pre-record. Looks like we got a nice audience today, and I think the subscribers jumped by about 300. So thank you on both sides of the aisle. I will say Trump won attendance enthusiasm after having gone to the Harris rally. Trump won attendance enthusiasm by a mile. It wasn't even close. Although in the internet, in terms of people and eyeballs, there were a lot more people watching when I was streaming Harris than when I was streaming Trump. So take from that what you will, which I found fascinating. There's about 4 times as many people watching the Harris coverage than the Trump coverage. So I don't know, maybe they're stronger. Maybe there's a silent majority out there, guys. Think of 1968, the loudest are the hippies and the left wing, but there's a silent majority that didn't talk much about in support of Nixon. Is there another silent majority here? There are a lot of people not talking. There are a lot of people talking shit about Trump too. There are a lot of people not talking. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays. But I'm sure all of you hate me because I'm not supportive of one or the other terribly. Such is life. I'm sure if I endorse somebody, well, not that who can fuck who I'd endorse, but I'm sure if I said rah, 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 this person or that person, half the cult would join in. But I'm here to objectively analyze things. Fair point. That's because YouTube favors the Kamala algorithm. And you might be right about that. I wouldn't necessarily disagree with you. Trump is leading the polls. Barely, not really, not with the recent batch of polls. It's only because you're watching CNN, guy. Only Russia and China don't want Trump to be. There are millions of people who don't want Trump to be president. And there's a team that's playing it smart, and there's a team that has their head in their ass. So, you know, don't ever get too cocky. The Democrats are nervous. Nervous is healthier. Arrogance lets you lose. So I'd say for both candidates, but for Trump especially, fight as if you're losing, or else you will lose. Yeah, Trump won't win, unfortunately. I don't know. Objective, really? Please? I mean, compared to CNN, yeah. Compared to other people, I think I am. Thanks for the live stream. You're welcome, Kelly boy. All right, guys, I'm signing off. Love you all. Long day. I got to rescue my dog and eat a bratwurst and enjoy some yum-yums. So thank you, guys. Please send me a super chat and I'll prostitute myself later. Bye-bye.